because my dad taught college. So right after high school, I went and had babies. This is true. What up, y'all? It's your man, Manny Faces. Hip-hop can save America. You might be watching on the replay, because if you're watching live, you're probably just getting the notification. We are live and direct. It's your man, Manny Faces, rocking with you. Got my man, my mellow Jason SK in the chat room saying, hey, you. So checks to him. What up to him? We're going to be seeing him in a minute. We have a special guest star. We have a special guest. Tonight, we're going to be talking about comedy and hip-hop with the one and only Forrest Hobbs, y'all. I got Forrest Hobbs in the house tonight. Y'all don't know who he is. No one really knows. I wish he was here. All right, but he'll be here soon. But actually, it's an important conversation if you love hip-hop and you love comedy and you love me, because it goes back to some of my history and how we got here to this crazy place. That being said, thanks for tuning in and turning up with us. This is Hip Hop Can Save America. We're live every Monday nights, almost every Monday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, where we discuss. Remember, for y'all who watch me, sometimes I'm like, what do we really talk about here? We talk about ways that hip hop, music, and culture can help uplift humanity. That's wild, like we really do. We talk about hip hop in education settings, hip hop as mental health therapy, hip hop with science and technology integrations. We had Darrell Booker from Microsoft on here. We've had Dr. Chris Emden on here for hip hop and education. We talk about all these intersections of hip hop that are actually being used to make the world a better place. That's it. And then I was like, oh, it's kind of like hip hop on a higher level, which used to be Double XL's tagline. So I can't use that because that was probably trademarked and they'll sue me. But I came up with one. And so I'm putting it on the record so y'all can't take it from me, because I'm going to go and trademark it. But I said it here first. It's hip hop for the greater good. Ah, you like that? Yes. Hip hop for the greater good. That's what we talk about on the show. So yes, sometimes we'll talk about entertainment. Everyone loves to be entertained. But this is going to be hip hop for the greater good. That's what we talk about here. So please tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Hit a thumbs up. Give us a like. Give us a subscribe. Make sure you're tuned in to us. We're here. We've been doing this for a long time. We got 80 episodes of the podcast. This is not a joke. This is not fake. This is not something that you don't want to pay attention to. This podcast listed in textbooks for hip hop studies. This podcast has had congressmen, super rap stars, OGs, people who are involved in any aspect of hip hop life. And so just pay attention if you don't know what the hell's going on and you're a first timer. Again, my name is Manny Faces. That's not my real name. No. I'll spread a secret with y'all. My government name is actually Bobby Elbows. So that's, so you learned something new tonight. Shouts to Andrew Wang in the building, one of our great supporters, who says, any connection to Calvin and Hobbes? Speaking about our guest who's coming up, his name is Forrest Hobbs. No, Andrew, no connection at all to Calvin or Hobbes or tigers or humans. He's actually not connected to anything. He's just a random guy. So but it has to do with hip hop. It has nothing to do with hip hop, and it has everything to do with hip hop. And I think you'll be inspired by my conversation with actually someone who's a friend of mine. And I know him, but y'all don't. So that's what's going to happen tonight. Let's get this show on the road, and then I'm going to introduce you a guest co-host to talk about hip hop news that isn't about dumb ish. And then we're going to talk to Forrest Hobbs whenever he gets back to the spot after ordering ice cream. It's a whole thing. Let's go. Let's start this crazy show. This one's really different. Let's go.
Manny Faces.
You sick for this one.
The thing about hip hop today is it's smart. It's insightful. The way that they can communicate a complex message in a very short space is remarkable. And a lot of these kids, they're not going to be reading the New York Times. That's not how they're getting their information.
My hip-hop will rock and shock the nation. Hip-hop culture is more than music.
Peace to you and speak the truth. Show 'em what peace can do when they're reached for you.
My hip-hop will rock and shock the nation. Rap is something you do. Hip-hop is something you live.
So hip-hop didn't invent anything, but hip-hop reinvented everything.
This is Baby Girl Faces. And this episode is brought to you by
Yes, indeedy. We wrote graffiti on the bus. Your man, your mellow, Manny Faces. Thanks to all of our great supporters that you just saw some names there. I have yet to update that whole thing. And I keep saying I'm going to, so I will just keep saying the names of the other people who have donated to this show, which you can do. I'll put it on the screen. Patreon.com/Manny Faces. Thank you to Tony P, who's a recent supporter. Jamie F, Austin R from the Too Pretty Band out in Dayton, Ohio. Sarah R, Dr. Elliot Gann, who's today's Future Sound, does great beat making. What do you call them? Workshops with young people, helps boost their confidence, helps get into their therapy. It's beat making as therapy. Dr. Elliot Gann is a supporter of the show. Shouts to AJ Woodson, aka AJ Rock, mighty AJ Rock, hip hop musician and historian and journalist. Big shouts to the rest of the supporting fam. Silent Night, who you saw, Mark E, Jesse G, Toast, Nicholas S, Brianna C, who's watching and doesn't even know she's a supporter of the show. I just used her name. Steffi, Kath, Morgan, Andrew Wang, who's in the building, Dr. Raphael Travis, Patrick, Chris J, and Adam K. There really are people who make this happen. Like, I do the thing, but I can't pay for the thing. Y'all help make it happen. So thank you. If you can find a way, $5 a month. Like if I was like, yo, let me get some Starbucks, you'd be like, okay, I got you. Well, get me a Starbucks every month and help make this continue to happen. I just put the link in there. Are you all watching on YouTube like you're supposed to? Very good. Very good. Everyone's following directions. Y'all understood the assignment. Patreon.com/Manny Faces. Shouts to Yvonne up in the house. Miss Yvonne, how you doing? Shouts again to Brianna up in the house. Brianna C, again, a contributor to this show secretly. Shouts to Chosen Hip Hop. That Prism, PR-ism. We had this gentleman on the show. Peace family, good to see you back in the mix. Really interesting show tonight. Has nothing to do with hip hop, but also has everything to do with hip hop. And it has to do with comedy, which is weird, but not weird. It's all connected, right? My man Forrest Hobbs will be joining us in a few minutes. Who's Forrest Hobbs, you might ask? Doesn't matter. You don't know him. But it's fine. It'll be great. Now, as always, I want to do a little segment before our guest where we talk about hip-hop news that isn't about dumb-ish. In fact, I have a little thingy thing that does it for me. So let's go.
Hip-hop news that isn't about dumb
So, I made that, by the way. I'm very proud of it. Where's the oh no, I don't have oh yeah, I do. Okay, there's the banner for it. Okay, look, one man show. Bear with me. Listen, if you're checking in on the replay, we're live Mondays at 9:00. If you're checking in for the first time, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Every tune in algorithm, it all helps. This is hip hop news. It isn't about dumb-ish, where I talk about some of the stuff that I've seen recently. That's hip-hop related that you might not hear about because all the hip-hop media outlets and certainly all the mainstream outlets want to just talk about the dumb-ish. So we're going to talk about the not dumb-ish. But for that, tonight, I wanted to bring in a guest co-host before the guest. We actually have two guests tonight in a weird way. His name is Loud Rook. No, I'm just kidding. Silent Night, your man, your mellow. Silent Night is in the building. How are you, sir? Yay.
What up?
What up?
Good to be here. Thank you for having me.
I'm so glad you were able to sit in on the beginning of the episode. Silent Night, of course, if y'all don't know, is a brilliant recording artist. Has been making music for quite a number of years. Former member of Raucous Records. Has done songs with Inspector Deck. Done songs with Your Mama. Done songs with all kind of people. Just has a beautiful album that's out now and on all the streaming platforms and Bandcamp called Restoration Volume 3. We did a album release party just a few months ago in New York City. He's an Innocence Project ambassador, works with the Innocence Project, which helps free and exonerate people who have been jailed unfairly. Like, this guy is a Mr. Teresa, like Mother Teresa, but Mr. Teresa, doing all the things. What up, man?
What up? I appreciate you.
No doubt.
Green screen here. But
I love it. I love the fact that your green screen is actually a green screen.
Yeah, with no
like you did a green screen
background.
of a green screen. I love it. Perfect. All right, Silent Night, in case you're new to this show, which you're not, but let's pretend you are, this segment is called Hip Hop News That Isn't About Dumb-ish. And what we do is we talk about, for a few minutes anyway, a few things that have happened in hip hop that we think are important to people who want to know, they're connected to the culture, but they're tired of the dumb ish, right? They want to know about some interesting ish. So we bring some interesting ish. Now, part of that happens because I have a wonderful newsletter. That newsletter is called also Hip Hop Can Save America, because I'm not very creative and I name everything Hip Hop Can Save America. So the newsletter is also called Hip Hop Can Save America, newsletter. Branding. Yeah, very good. I need a branding person. And what you do is you get this collection of stories that I curate and I hand pick from the beautiful meadows of the internet, and I pluck these wonderful flowery stories of interesting hip hopness, and I bring them into one basket. You collect flowers in a basket, and then I create a bouquet, and I deliver the bouquet to people in their email inboxes. Isn't that lovely?
That is lovely.
It is lovely. And so that latest edition looks like this. And it says, bring real female rappers back, and has a picture of Sexy Red. And we'll talk about that in a minute. We'll get to that. But first, the hip hop news that isn't about dumb-ish actually appears in this newsletter, which you get for free if you sign up right where it says there, mannyfaces.hiphop, mannyfaces.substack.com. So let's talk about a couple of the stories that we recognized as being important for people who want more from their hip hop. This is an interesting one. In fact, that you're involved with the Innocence Project. Obviously, as we talked about a few times, there's this whole thing about rap lyrics being used in trials, right, as evidence in court. You know of this. What do you call it? Trend.
We had the show with our boy Kemba talking about that.
Indeed, we did. We had Kemba and the director JM of As We Speak, which was a documentary that looked into this issue. This is interesting. Of course, y'all know the rapper BG, right? Everyone knows. Well, not everyone, but most of y'all knows BG.
Cash Money.
Cash Money. Bling Bling was his big hit. He had some legal troubles, and this is really interesting because he's been ordered to have all of his future songs approved by the U.S. government.
I did see that.
Which is bananas to think that this could actually be a thing, but this is what they're doing out there in the world. And so it's interesting when this topic comes up, when people say, oh, you're using lyrics in court, a lot of times people think of like young folk that might be making, songs about their ops, drill music kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And they post it to YouTube. It's not like official record, deal kind of stuff, independent stuff, whatever. And they say, well, if you admit to committing a crime, then, that's what you get. If you put your crimes on, but there's such a bigger story to this whole thing. We've seen it now with Young Thug being, trial in Atlanta. The slippery slope that gets when they try to interpret hip hop lyrics, but they're not from hip hop, right? So they're getting inferences wrong. They're getting references wrong. Like if I was to be like, yo, SK, me and you, and we do a song together, and I'm like, yo, we gonna come in, in a club and we're gonna get things popping. Like, and then we get into a club and there's a kerfuffle. There's a fight. There's a shootout at the club that we're at. And then we escape. We had nothing to do with it. But they'd be like, no, Manny Faces and Silent Night on that song, Get It Poppin' in the Club, which would not be a song we would do. But like the lyrics said, I got it poppin', and they know that, you pop shots, like poppin' is a euphemism for shooting. They're going to use that against us because they don't really understand that there's more than one meaning, et cetera, et cetera. So just a small example of the problems. I have a book here.
Yep.
It's called Rap on Trial, which is now in the small part of the screen. Where they delve into this problem. And so now we're seeing someone who, and it's a long story. Read the article. If you get the newsletter, you'll see it. It's an interesting story. But the artist known as BG must provide the government with copies of any songs he writes moving forward ahead of their production or promotion. And if they're deemed to be inconsistent with the goals of rehabilitation, prosecutors could move to toughen the terms dictating his supervised release. So essentially he's gotten, he's sort of on a probationary kind of thing, right?
Yep.
And also at the same time, they're saying, but also we want to know, like, what y'all writing about. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and use that as a, as a part of his parole or his probation, everything. Yeah.
Right. So this guy can't write like a song from his creative spirit about something fictional. Lest it be. And then again, what if you write about dragons and unicorns and then the prosecution comes back and be like, well, dragons and unicorns is just a creative way of saying Crips and Bloods. Like, what the hell? Like, how is this even possible to say that we're going to be able to police your lyrical output as an artist? So a wildly disturbing story that I thought was worth sharing.
Yep.
I just hit the wrong button.
Crazy.
Yep. On a better note, let's alternate. Let's do like sad shit, sad, like, and then we'll do like not sad-ish, sad-ish. Look at this. Wu-Tang Clan and Nike are releasing a sneaker.
Is that a bee shoe? A killer bee?
Yeah, Killer Bee's shoe. Wu-Tang Clan.
Shoe full of bees?
Once the most sought-after Nike Dunks ever created is expected to be dropping for the very first time. Apparently, this was sort of done as a one-off or a very limited release in the past. Without any warning, says Complex, which is where I go for truthful news. Without any warning, Nike posted a cryptic video on social media this weekend that showed the unreleased Wu-Tang Clan and Nike Dunk High. The sneaker was swarmed by bees as a reference to the style's Killer Bee-themed colorway. According to leakers, it's released for the first time this fall, was originally created back in the 90s, and only 36 pairs were believed to be in existence. The sneaker takes on the OG-style, quote, goldenrod dunk colorway as the base, but features the legendary rap group's iconic logo on the heel, counter, and tongue tag. The upcoming version is expected to don a black pollen white color scheme identical to the OG pair. Some of those original pairs, they say, have gone on to secondary market and auctioneers, over $10,000. As of the writing of this story, a size 7.5 pair is currently listed at Sotheby's for $27,000. Nike hasn't officially announced a date. This was maybe a week ago, so maybe they have since then. I do understand. I did ask for some clarification, and apparently the bees are not included.
The bees are not included.
It's very disappointing.
Yeah, exactly. I thought it was just like a bunch of fake bees or...
No, I guess those are real bees. Those are probably Photoshop bees. Haters will say it's Photoshop. Andrew Wang, going back to the past story, says, do you know the Cash Money reunion at Essence Fest did not have Lil Wayne there? I know there was some back and forth between Birdman and Lil Wayne. Is that right?
I believe so. At one point, anyway.
There was something happening at Essence Fest besides Busta Rhymes yelling at everybody. We could talk about that too. Another interesting story while we wait for our guest tonight. His name is Forrest Hobbs. He's an incredibly talented comedian that you've never heard of. It's true. All this is true.
Yeah, I really thought the bees were part of it.
It would have been great. It would have been great. CNET has an interesting story about DJs and AI and music making. And this is something that I've been looking at, and we're going to talk about in depth in this show for real. We obviously had a good friend of ours, Darrell Booker, a couple episodes ago from Microsoft. He was here, and he talked about some of the work that Microsoft is doing in the AI realm. But we didn't get into too much. There's an MC, SK, you might be interested in this. They put together a sort of an AI program, platform, whatever, in conjunction with the Universal Hip-Hop Museum, right? And give me your thoughts on this, because you're an MC, you're a super talented guy. There's a program that they put in, sort of an educational or as just a fun thing to do with the Hip-Hop Museum there in New York, where it basically asks you a bunch of questions about what kind of MC you want to be, what's your style, what are some of the things you're into, what's your, who do you model yourself after? And then it'll give you some prompts to say, okay, like writers do this sometimes, right? A writer prompt, like if you're writing a short story or something, they'll be like, all right, you're a fish, right? And the fish is in a cave and it's not Nemo, so don't bite Nemo because you'll get sued. But you know what I mean? It's like a prompt, a beginning thing. And what do you think about like a program that does that with bars? What do you think about AI and rapping?
I mean, are you talking about just a prompt, giving the writer the prompts, or you're saying like you're putting in your prompts and AI is doing the verse.
It's kind of maybe doing the verse, but it's maybe giving you like a starter verse that you could like take and kind of, this is maybe for aspiring MCs, maybe people just starting out trying to test the waters. Can you write a rhyme? Can you flow? So it's not meant to be like, you know, take over or do your job for you. No one could obviously create that kind of complexity. But what do you think about that as a way to kind of get maybe younger people or first time MCs into the idea of how you put a rhyme together, how you craft using AI as a helper tool? I like that. I like that screw face.
I'm not sold.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sold. I'm not all against AI as like a blanket thing. And I kind of, you know, I could see some of the benefits or some of the cool things about it, helping, you know, people that are creating stuff.
Yep.
So I'm not gonna say like I'm not totally against what you're saying right now. Maybe I got to look into it more. I like the idea of prompts for writers in general. You know what I mean? But I feel like if anything, if it was just like a rotating prompt thing or some way that you put stuff in and it gives you prompts like for you to write off of, that's cool. Maybe showing an example. Yeah, I guess not a bad thing. But yeah, as of now, I'm not. I got to look into it more.
Yeah. I get how. So that's why this story struck me as interesting. This is, I think it's a video. And so they had a DJ, and they're going head to head with some of the experiments with Google's new Music FX AI. And I say this because, like, a lot of times we do have people who are, you know, artists or DJs. I'm a DJ, as you know.
Bass DJ, and I love making people happy through music. Today I'm going head to head with Google AI on music.
Let's listen for a second, shall we?
Now we're going to play around with Google's Music FX from their test kitchen, and we're going to see what it comes up with. So I'm going to ask it to create a disco song that's 122 BPM with 2024 style tech house, bass, and piano. All right. It's not exactly what I was looking for. That's pretty cool. All right, let's try something different.
Fair enough.
70s funk and soul song at 108 BPM, bass guitar, and smooth synths. Let's give this a shot. This is really, really cool.
Okay, yeah, I'm not even gonna lie. That sounds like some real music. I'm not gonna lie. Hold on.
Let's give this a shot.
Okay, yeah, we're in trouble. We're all doomed. Okay, all artists are doomed.
I mean, yeah, it's like it's a derivative of a million things we've heard before, but it's like that's kind of how we create music anyway, I guess, like how, you know, how humans do, right? And this is like putting a whole bunch of other music like that into this program and then having it be able to create it. So that's what we're doing, right? Everything we've listened to in our lives, everything we like or just see as something that people listen to or gravitate towards, like that comes out to a degree in our creations. So
yeah,
you know.
I mean, it's sort of synthesizing how we do things in a faster. I mean, that's what the writing stuff does. Like this Chat GPT stuff is taking all the writing that we've done as a collective humanity and saying, here's how we do it. This is, and it may be derivative and basic, but most writing is like not everyone's a genius. Not everyone's a fantastic musician. You know what I mean?
I mean, even the fantastic musicians is, you know, what is it? Good artists borrow, great artists steal, whatever.
That's right. Andrew says, won't big time companies like Serato and such just sue Suno and Udio? Now, by the way, I told on another episode, I actually went to a big tech festival thing here in Atlanta called Render ATL, and I saw some of the demos. If you think that was good, oh my God, these two companies, Suno and Udio, are putting together music that, for real, even with singing, like the, you know, BBL Drizzy type stuff, like that stuff is really happening. So there is definitely a shift. Now, Andrew, we're going to talk about it a little bit more in another episode, but there is some pushback by the record companies, basically saying, please don't use our artists. Please don't use our music. But it's a wild west right now. for
Yo.
AI and music. I'm telling you
Yeah,
now.
I didn't realize. I see Andrew talking about Bandcamp in there.
Yeah.
I didn't know about that part of it. I know Rockstar Games bought Bandcamp, but I didn't know that they sold it to the other company. He just
Andrew says
mentioned.
Bandcamp prefers AI generated artists
Sound
over
Trader.
real artists. I mean,
Yeah,
prefers is a big word. Obviously, Spotify has had a problem now with AI generated music getting a lot of clicks and burn, and they're trying to figure this out. This is a wild, wild west for artists. So, on one hand, we're all the artists are doomed. Just pack it up and go, go work at the supermarket. But on the other hand, hold on now. Hold on. I'm not all doom and gloom.
True.
I'm trying to say, like, here are the stories, right? Here's what's happening. Let's pay attention to the advancements, because perhaps just like it's important, we've talked about for AI to be multicultural, right? To make sure that they include voices and perspectives and vernacular and be able to identify verbiage and linguistics and dialects, just like we've talked about AI being racist, because AI being programmed by generally speaking, not persons of color. So when the AI is then tasked to find, the person who looks like the person who robbed the bank, and if the non-persons of color don't have the ability to tell persons of color apart, then neither does the AI, because it's been badly programmed. We've done stories about this. So there's a opportunity, I think, for folks to get involved in this technology to make sure that it's done better. I'm gonna say right is subjective, right? So if you're a musician, if you're a someone who does this kind of stuff, pay attention to what's happening in the industry, and maybe there's ways that you can actually find another way to kind of get involved and make this so that it's more of a tool than an exploitative device. Make sense?
Yep, I feel you on that.
So that's why we bring these stories to light. Again, these are all stories that I'm giving to y'all. If y'all didn't hear about this stuff, it's because nobody's as good as me at collecting them and delivering them to you with a bow into your wonderful inbox, your juicy inbox. I do it about every 2 weeks, give or take. Let's do a couple more. These are, like I said, what I like to call
Hip-hop news that isn't about dumb shit.
SK, I know you got to roll soon. Thanks for tuning in and joining us.
Hey, yeah, thank you for having me, even briefly on here. It's been a minute since I jumped on here with you.
You're always welcome, my man. You're always welcome. We'll do a couple more stories. If you got to cut, just let me know and say bye to the people.
All right.
I thought this was interesting, and this will lead into something else that I want to show folks. If you don't like hip hop today, like if you're kind of like, I don't know, you might be older, or you might have an old soul. You might not be tuned in to everything that's, happening. You might be tuned in a little bit and not like what you see or hear. I want to promise you, as I often do, that there's way more hip hop than what you think. My man Silent Night right here is a great example. Does fantastic music, been doing music for a long time. Soul touching music, dope beats, dope lyrics, deep, introspective. Just a smart guy. Smart guy does smart lyrics, right? Also, a guy in touch with his feelings. Makes good music. This guy right here. You might not know him. You probably do if you're watching, but if you don't, it's an example of what you might not find on the radio or on the BET Awards or whatever. And we talk about this a lot because people want more from their hip hop than what they're given by the corporate controlled structures and blah, 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 blah. Well, this is an article on WLIW, which I think is a Long Island station, by the way. And I just came across it, and they said this is unpacking hip hop's sprawl in 2024's most eclectic release date. Okay. And what they did was they give a rundown of all these artists that dropped on the same day, just last month, just a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
Including Megan Thee Stallion, who you might like or might not, but also Boldy James and Conductor Williams. These are two very diametrically situated artists. YNJ, Flint to Detroit, James Blake and Lil Yachty, Cupcake, The rapper's favorite rapper, Lupe Fiasco, just dropped a new album of rapidy raps and full of all kind of, you know what I mean? Like that level of barbarism.
Entendres.
Right. Yeah, right. Shouts to Sean P. Previous industries, who I don't even know, but they're on this list. And I want to now find out more because whoever put this list together is pretty clearly connected to all these different aspects of rap and hip hop. Hetty One was the last one on the list. And all that to say, you may or may not have heard of any of these people. You've heard of some, surely. But once again, bro, you know we talk about this all the time. It's almost annoying how many times we have to say it. Whatever you want from hip hop, you could find.
It's out there, yes.
100,000%. I will refund your money for what you paid to watch the show, which is $0. I will give it back to you and double it. If you take the time to find some of the hip hop you like, it's real simple. Maybe you have Spotify and you know you like, artist X. And you can go to Spotify and say, show me artist X, and go to song radio, artist radio. And it'll show you just algorithmically, magically, other songs by artists that are like artist X. And some of those artists you might know, some you might not. And now you've discovered, yay, something. It's so simple. You could be old, you could be young, you could like Hiatus Coyote, which is not really hip hop, but it's hip hop adjacent. Dope album just dropped, right? You could like, Silent Night, and you want to hear more people like Silent Night. And if you hit Silent, you might get Con Boogie. He might be in your algorithm. Our friend Con Boogie, who just dropped a song. You don't know who these people are sometimes.
New album, yeah.
New album, a whole new album, or is this a song? Did he do a whole album?
Whole album, yeah.
Shouts to Con Boogie from Queens, New York. Yeah. So the point is, all of this exists, and you might not find this one article like I did, even though I shared it with y'all, and that's what I do in the newsletter. Because in the newsletter, if you're a paid subscriber, the link's on the bottom.
I saw my name up there.
Yeah, I always put you in there, man. Come on now. If you're a paid subscriber, you also get some links, some stuff that's happening, some events, some wonderful things, some music drops. And look what I have here. Lupe Fiasco, Boldy James, King Crooked, and Yoel Ortiz just dropped. The Foreign Exchange, you know your guy. Fonte, right?
Yep.
Did you not do a song with Fonte from Little Brother? Did you not?
I did. From Little Brother and Foreign Exchange.
And from Foreign Exchange. Come on now. All these things just dropped. So I want to just remind people. Oh, yeah. Hey, what up, Bob Knutson? Bob Knutson's in here.
Bob, what up?
And Bob's a big fan of Newsbeat and the work you do. Shouts to him. Van. Andrew Wang brings up Van in because Andrew Wang is a super supporter on the Patreon. He gets a pick. He gets a pick in the newsletter. He gets to put a pick in the newsletter. You could put a pick in the newsletter if you're a Patreon subscriber. Anyway, he picked Van. Y'all know Van? The young girl, the like super like little shorty, and she's rocking and doing songs with MC Light.
Yeah, no, I was reading the comments there. Yeah, no, I haven't heard.
Super dope. So you want hip hop? You can show your daughter, your kids, the youngins. That isn't Brianna. You still watching? What's BB's? It's your birthday. The birthday song and the veggie dance. What's homegirl? You know what I mean? Like you want the rappers to put on? You can do that. Like the veggie dance. Do the veggie dance. You know what I mean? So yeah. So
I was in a classroom playing.
They love the veggie dance. But if you want some like rapidy rap stuff, you can get Van in the spot. Like get Van in there, right? So shouts to Andrew Wang. His pick this week was Van, featuring MC Light.
Nice.
Rhapsody and the Brat. Like, come on now.
They're all on the song? All right.
They're all on the song with Van. So, like I said, all that you want from hip hop. Is it Gracie's Corner? Says Yvonne. Gracie's Corner, maybe. That might be it. Gracie's Corner, like the veggie dance, right? Could be. It was called. Anyway, so Van, someone to look out for, especially if you want young people. Now, listen. I know you got to go soon, SK. We're supposed to be talking with Forrest Hobbs tonight. He's as of yet not arrived.
Has not arrived.
Now, If you haven't heard of Forrest Hobbs, this is probably why. Because he can't arrive on time. Making me look amateurish. But hold out if you can. Fun guy. We're going to talk about some things. In the meantime.
Forrest in here. Look, Forrest is here in the chat.
Is he in the chat?
Yep.
Why are you here? You should be here. You're not on here, Forrest. I know you're there.
And
Click
Brianna
the
said
link.
yes, Gracie's Corner is the name.
Gracie's Corner. My granddaughter loves Gracie's Corner. All right, so click the thing, Forrest. 2 R's, Brianna. Anyway, this has been your latest edition, your chaotic edition of
Hip-hop news that isn't about dumb shit.
All right.
Manny, thank
Yes,
you for
sir.
having me, Manny. I'm going to
Silent
slide
night.
out. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Manny, I appreciate you.
No doubt.
I'm going to jump in the chat myself.
Jump in the chat and put the link to your Bandcamp, and I want people to go and find out what you got dropping. If you were a paid subscriber to my newsletter or my Patreon, rather, you would have gotten a free song from Silent Night that no one else got. I gave it to you 2 weeks ago. You missed it. But if you sign up today, patreon.com/Manny Faces, I will. If you literally sign up today, I will give you that song for free. I don't care if you say no, Silent Night. I'm going to give away your music for free. I'm a pirate.
I did not agree to this. No, I didn't.
Bootleggers going to get your legs broke.
Bootlegged.
Yeah, you're good. I got you. Give me 2 seconds. All right, my man, my mellow. Silent Night, everybody. Clap it up. All the babies say. And all the dudes say.
Fuck your life.
All right, there you go. All right, my G. Thank you, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
All right. Once again, Silent Night, super dope MC, does all kind of things. Follow him on Bandcamp, do all the things. So yeah. This is Hip Hop Can Save America. I'm Manny Faces. You might know me, you might not. You might be like, what the hell's going on tonight? Doesn't matter. It's fine. Who cares about me? This is Hip Hop Can Save America, where we talk about ways that hip hop, music, and culture can uplift humanity and improve society. We just showed you a bunch of stories that are what I like to call hip hop news that isn't about dumb-ish. And then tonight we're going to get into hip hop news that is about dumb-ish, because why not? Like sometimes we just got to be stupid and do things differently. I mentioned to you that we're going to have a wonderful guest, a very, very handsome, charming guest that says funny things. He's done great work in the world. He's just loved by everyone. And then I realized that's me, the host. I'm talking about me. The guest is none of that. The guest is really kind of a derelict, but I promised y'all that we would talk to him. So I guess I got to stick to my promise because he came back from buying ice cream or something. I don't know. Forrest Hobbs, y'all, my man, my mellow.
What's going on, bro?
How are you, sir? I hear a little feedback, so our audio is a little bit crazy right now. You wouldn't happen to have any headphones or anything in there, huh?
No, not at all.
Of course not. Why would you? All right, folks in the audience. Oh, I know you hear echo, Andrew Wang. Andrew Wang's like the best person. Does this help? Nope. The problem, Mr. Hobbs, is that my voice is coming out of the speakers.
Yeah.
And then it's going back into your microphone.
Ah.
Was this your phone?
Let's see if I can move it.
I don't know if that's going to work.
Tell me, can you hear it now?
I think it's going to keep happening.
You want me to put the headphones on?
If you have them, that'd be great.
Yeah, let's try. Let's see.
Forrest Hobbs is also a motorcyclist. And if you have to put on his helmet, then he'll do that. Now, listen, I normally don't like this kind of thing, right? You know what I mean? Forrest Hobbs gets all the passes in the world because Forrest Hobbs is one of the greatest humans you'll ever meet. So understand that while this is happening, we're going to give him a pass because he's an incredible dude. And so we're going to make this work. This is important to me. It's important to him. I've asked him to unmute. I actually muted him. And then I think he has to unmute. Yeah, check 1 2.
Better.
It's quiet, but you should just talk really loudly. All right. Let me know if you can hear him. Say something for us. Tell us what you had for breakfast and for dinner.
Oh man, I had bacon, egg, and cheese for breakfast, and I had some crabs for dinner. It's my birthday.
You're not in the. It is your birthday. First of all, happy birthday!
Really?
Gunshots and everything. Happy birthday, sir. I'm very happy that you're finally 21. This way you can get a full license. Is that what it is? I don't remember the details.
You don't know I don't use license.
I don't do licenses. What's going on? What's that all about? All right, you're really low, but I want to make sure everyone can hear you. Folks in the chat, tell me you can hear Forrest when he talks. He's got an incredible voice that needs to be heard by the world. So I just want to make sure.
Can you hear? Yes.
Yeah, close as you can get to that thing. Just put it in your mouth. Just suck on it during the whole interview.
Let me tell you, man, it might be hard. I've been riding at over 200 miles an hour on that bike, so I doubt it.
So that's interesting. I ride a bike now, in no way inspired by you, because you're insane. You rode at 200 miles an hour. I think I barely break 20 miles an hour. So we're different people.
I'm gonna get you there eventually.
I feel you. I feel you. All right, so we can hear you, but it's low. So just try to keep as close as possible. And I know I'm super loud, so the like if I go, maybe I'll just be quieter, and then we'll sound good together.
No.
Forrest, we brought you on the show because this is Hip Hop Can Save America, and we talk about ways that hip hop can save America.
They would have to throw the whole squad in the trash and start over.
I often say we might need a little bit more than hip hop to save America. So.
These new youngins, man, they talking about the dead, shooting up their mother's cribs. They way out of pocket, bro.
There's a whole lot in the spectrum of what it is, but we're still here. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, we're still here. We haven't gone anywhere. And the young folk is gonna be young folk. They're gonna do their thing, but we're gonna figure out ways to make it all work. But you're not a hip hop artist.
No.
You're not a hip hop educator. You're hip hop as far as like you grew up on hip hop. Like, you're just a regular dude. Tell me, like, who the hell are you? Why are you here? Why do we do this?
Believe it or not, it all started with you.
Me?
Remember, they look. See, I don't know if your listeners and your viewers know that you used to be on the mic. Do they know that part of you? Do they know that we used to travel while you was doing shows? Do they know that about you?
So again, okay. So the ones like, all right. So again, audience, this is personal. This is my guy. We go back obviously a long way. At one point, he was my cousin-in-law.
Yeah.
I was married to his cousin, my ex-wife. Shouts to the ex. And I was rapping at the time, but I was mostly like DJing and making remixes. But every now and then I'd get on a mic, and there was one DJ out of Pennsylvania somewhere who put one of the joints I did like on their mixtape. And I wish this is actually bad because I would want to give him his name. I always give flowers on the show, so I'm trying to give him his flowers, but I can't remember his name right now. So we went to Pennsylvania, and like he was having a party or whatever, a jam. And Forrest, I knew you because you were my cousin-in-law. You're a funny dude. We hang out. We had a good time. We got along. There was a time, which we'll get into, where you were actually dabbling in stand-up comedy. As you can see on the bottom of the show, on the bottom of the screen there, is some dude named Forrest Hobbs that people say is funny. Not only are you just funny in regular conversation, but you were like starting to dip your toe into the world of stand-up comedy, right? So I knew this, but I didn't really care. And I was like, let me go out to Pennsylvania and do this show. We go to Pennsylvania. It's like this nice little venue, I guess. Right now it reminds me of like the back of a restaurant. Like, it's like that event space that nobody really uses unless for bar mitzvahs. But it was packed. There was a bunch of people in there, and they were doing some things. Oh, shouts to Dawn. I just shout out the ex, and here she goes, like Beetlejuice. She just appears like Candyman. You say the ex-wife, and she appears on the YouTube stream like it's like she's Candyman.
He's everywhere.
Yeah. So I got both wives in here, like ex-wife and new wife. It's crazy what's going on here. Y'all don't even know. But we go to Pennsylvania and the show's cool. And like, I'm going to spit my little verse on the little mixtape joint, whatever. I'm trying to be a rapper. And the party is like meh. And Forrest is there. And Forrest is like, yo, this party's whack. Why nobody jumping? Why nobody dancing? And the DJ's rocking, like music is playing, but everyone's sitting on the side, like on their little seats. And I was like, I don't know, man. They need like a hype man. And Forrest was like, I could be a hype man if someone would give me a mic.
Oh, hey, don't forget a Grand Marnier with 2 cherries.
Come on, he's drinking. He's like a Grand Marnier, 2 cherries. And like he's like, that's a little Sex on the Beach. So he used to drink Sex on the Beach. That was weird. Have to explain. Yeah, let me get a Sex on the Beach for my man. Right? So he's like, nah, I'm gonna get this party started, right? I'm like, bet, boom, yo, my dude, give me a mic. I need a cordless mic. They were like, all right, boom, give me a mic. I hand it to you, and I'm like, go off, King, like do your thing, take over. What happened?
What you mean? 10 minutes after that, the party was jumping.
Come on.
So look, after that grandma kicked in, I'm telling you, that grandma be serious. So look, I grabbed every single female out there and pulled it to the dance floor. And then I grabbed every single dude and told him to help me with the females that's on the dance floor. Within 10 minutes, the whole spot was packed. And then we gave it to Mike. And Mike, I don't know you. I still don't know how you're not one of the greatest rappers out right now, bro.
No, stop it. First of all,
after what I seen you do that night, bro, I'm telling you,
we had a good night.
You were Eminem before Eminem. Now, shout out to Eminem. I love M, but you was M before we even knew about an M. You know what I'm saying? Like you was him. Like I don't know how they missed you, but
it's all good.
I think the world missed a great dude. You know what I'm saying?
But we over here doing this. You know, it's all good. I appreciate that. I was, you know, before white rappers were cool. Brianna said Manny walked so Eminem could run. Shouts to you. So also, you also saying Mike a lot. They understand like who you talking about, Mike. Like you dropping government names up in this piece. My name is Manny.
I wish I got you.
So, but actually, at the time, they asked me what my rapper name was. Andrew and Yvonne are both like, "What was my rapper name?" And it was probably Mike, just Mike at the time. Mm-hmm. I did go by Schizophrenic for a while.
Yeah.
So if you think about schizophrenic and the idea of multiple personalities, and I was like, there was one time I was trying to rap with different voices and different styles. And I had this whole thing going on, like a one-man Wu-Tang Clan. Like I had different names. And so I was really trying to do like this real experimental stuff. And then that got to be way too much work. And so I was like, the hell with all this. But schizophrenic, multiple personalities, many faces, like it all kind of like evolved. So that was my rapper name. Mike Just Mike for a little while. And Schizophrenic was one of my rap names before Many Faces. And thanks to Coleman, actually, rest in peace, our brother Coleman, our collective brother Coleman. Many Faces came up in a conversation with him where we were working on like new rap names. He was part of a group called Mandatory. He rapped as what did he rap as? He rapped as Caution. And then he rapped as TC for his initials. But we came up discussing it. It was between Manny Faces and Dick Dastardly. Yeah, so I think we chose well. Rest in peace to our brother Coleman. So at that point I realized like this, you could command a crowd, bro. You pulling people up. You was like, yo, what you doing? Why you not dancing? If you don't dance, you turn into a pumpkin. I don't know what the hell you were saying. But you got people off the floor and you was rocking. And then on the drive home from Pennsylvania, I was like, you funny. And you was like, yo. I don't know how to like get in the game. Right? That was the conversation we had right on the way home.
Yeah, because we was in the minivan.
Yeah. Yeah, that my ex-wife took. But whatever. We're not gonna go there. She's in the audience. But hold on, okay. But then she gave it back because she was too cool to be in a minivan. Anyway, and so now explain like you're dabbling in as a regular dude, grew up on Long Island, New York, right? You had aspirations for comedy, for being in front of the camera, right? You also wanted to kind of work in show business. Explain like kind of your early desires and how far that went and what kind of inspired you to want to get in a position where taking a mic off of some dude and getting a party started wasn't out of the realm of possibility for you. What were you trying to do with your life?
Basically, just to see that it can be done. That night actually lit a fire, and the fact that you had that other piece, I already knew it was Biggie and Puffy, Batman and Robin. You know what I'm saying? Like I already knew. I was
Right.
like, me and you together. I know. Even to this day, I don't care if we are 90. You know what I'm saying?
I'm almost
Us
90.
together. Look, and I'm almost right behind you. So
Right.
we ain't too far apart, but I still think no matter what, man, I think we can still make things happen, man.
What were you? So what I liked about it was we had talked about, and again, sad we have to say this, but rest in peace, our peoples. Your cousin Sean, right? Shouts to Sean McClain, the late great Sean McClain. He had gotten some movement in the comedy scene in New York City. You would kind of roll with him for a little bit. What was your earliest, like, why did you want to get into comedy? You're a funny dude around the way, but a lot of us is funny around the way. People say I'm funny, but I didn't do what you did, bro. When I see you get on stage in front of people and hold that mic and talk, that's a different kind of funny. So not only were you funny, like, around the way with your people, but then you were able to, like, get on stage and translate. Tell me how that happened.
I didn't at first, even when JP Justice said something like he said that's a different type of funny. I never understood it because it all seemed the same to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I love Sean. You know what I'm saying? Like that was my dude. And I can see certain things. So I'm like, hold up. Now I have this piece. He has that other piece. Yo, fam, let's do this.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I guess because of all the things he had went through, he's seen me as competition instead of family.
Okay.
And that's how we started to bump. Which,
Okay.
A couple of friendly competition is nothing wrong, but
No.
if
Sure,
you
still,
don't,
what do you
if
say?
you,
Iron sharp as iron, right? That's
iron
okay.
sharp as iron.
Yeah.
But if you're missing the view, you're gonna be too much stuck in the bump, and we're never gonna get where we're supposed to go.
Yeah.
And I think that's the only thing I regret with him. You know what I'm saying? I definitely regret that. I didn't know how else to reach out to him. Like I couldn't explain it to him anymore. Like, yo, fam, like you have those connections. We can do this. Let's go. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And then it was after, me and him stopped speaking for a while. It was just like, you know what? I don't like comedy. You know what I'm saying? Like I actually backed out of it until me and you seen each other again. And I was like, look,
Yeah.
I see it again. You know what I'm saying? Because believe it or not, Sean came and got me after I believe it or not, I just got out of jail. You know what I'm saying? So I had just came home from jail, and before I knew it, it was a knock at my door, and I opened the door, and it was Sean, and I didn't see Sean in years. And he was like, "Yo, Auntie called me. She said you was in jail. You just got out. You need God in your life. You know how they go. You know what I'm saying?"
Sure. Yeah.
So I was like, "All
Fair.
right, cool. Well,
Nothing wrong with that.
yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that. What you want to do, cousin? I'm with you." So he was just like, "You're funny." He said the same thing you said. You're funny. Have you ever did stand up? And I was like, let's go. It's whatever. I was like, I don't think I'm that funny. He was like, come on, we gonna do it. We did what's that? Manhattan Proper.
Okay.
The first place in Queens. And I mean, the stage was probably about this big, bro. I kid you not. If you fought wrong, you was falling off. So I was like, hold on, I'm just gonna I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna try it anyway. And I was like, what if I get booed? He was like, whatever, man, just do what you do. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And that was it. And that was our spot. We would go there, we do what we have to do, and or you know what, it was just everywhere. Then it turned into a battle with each other. And I didn't want that. And then,
Yeah,
I
no, I
explained
get
that
it.
to him. You know what I'm saying? I was like,
Yeah.
your cousin, man, we battle everybody outside. We family. We supposed to bond together and go take everybody else head off. But nah, it didn't work that way.
I mean, personalities clash, when these things. Obviously, y'all were cool, but it wasn't like the same.
Matter
It's
of fact,
like
even at Dawn, if Dawn I think she still got that video, Dawn. I'm not sure, but remember we did stand up at her wedding. Me and
Which
Sean
wedding?
did-
Because she had like 19 weddings, bro. You gotta be more
I'm
specific.
done.
There's a lot of inside jokes tonight. A lot of inside jokes. Pardon me, fam. Pardon me, fam. Yo. All right.
Yo, you busted shots, man.
So, but okay. I get that. So you dabbled in it. It's like members of a group, you know what I mean? Like both want to be Buster. Y'all can't all be Buster. Cool. Sean went and had a great career, you know, did a bunch of things after that.
Yeah.
Had some I met Guru from Gangstar because of Sean McClain. So that was my brother-in-law at the time. You know what I mean? Like he was in the movies, he was doing all kind of stuff. Dawn clarified it was husband number 3. It's husband number 3. So thank you. Like you don't understand. Like the village is in here tonight. The village is in here tonight. But this look, even people who are not connected to us, you got to understand. Number one, some say this guy's funny, but number two, like this all relates to hip hop, right?
Yeah.
Because when you were like, okay, Manny, like what can you do now? At the time, okay, I'm rapping, right? But I'm also like producing, I'm making beats. I had a little home studio. I was working with some local cats out on Long Island. Matter of fact, a group that I had produced a demo for got signed with Loud Records. So I was like making some moves in the production game as well. Right before Loud Records, collapsed, and like we had interviews scheduled with Large Professor. We were supposed to go see Large Professor in Akinelli in Left Rack City the day my grandmother died, and so we had to like cancel the appointment, and then we never clicked with them again. So I'm right there trying to make some things happen, and you were like, "Yo, I tried to do comedy with Sean, but I don't know like how to do it, and you in the business." And I'm like I like how your voice is like sort of DMX, but not. Like, hey, yo, Mike, that's you. So, and you're like, you in a business? But I'm like, no, I'm not in a business. I'm in my basement, bro. Like, it's not even like that. Like, because you like, we on the road to Pennsylvania. You in the state now. I'm like, I'm just a guy, bro. I'm just trying.
No.
but you were a challenge to me because I'm like, I don't know how to manage a comedian. Right. So he was like, get me on some stages, man. I'm funny. I want to try some things out. Yeah. Like I can't rock with my cousin, but he cool. We cool. But like, I like how you move. And I'm like, all right, I don't really know how to manage I don't know how to do any of this stuff. I said, but I do know like hip hop. I know rap. I know rap marketing. Right. And I know like street team and guerrilla marketing and all the wonderful, like sometimes people tell me like, oh, okay, Mr. Hip Hop man. Like, how can hip hop be better? Like, how can education be improved by hip hop? And then I bring on the show like 40 people that bring hip hop into the classroom, and all of a sudden kids are like paying attention and they're into it and like they're learning all this kind of stuff. So I could prove that. Okay, Mr. Hip Hop man, how can hip hop, help our mental health? And I bring in like 20 people who are doing like mental health and hip hop therapy, and and so I proved that. And I'm like, this is how. And they're like, okay. And they're like, okay, Mr. Hip Hop man, I'm a plumber. How can hip hop make me a better plumber? And I'm like, do you know how good hip hop is at advertising?
Yeah.
And marketing?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And like you said, branding earlier, because when you come from a hip hop mindset, like you automatically trying to do it the way you're not supposed to do it. You got to always come in the back door. They never wanted hip hop to come in the front door, so hip hop went in through the back door. And I learned this from all my people that are, of hip hop. And again, there's a Venn diagram of like hip hop culture, black culture, and that kind of space where they live in the middle, where it's like they didn't want us to do this, so we did it anyway. They didn't want us to rise up, and so we did it anyway. And like I learned from that because that was my people. So I'm inspired by all this. So I said to you, well, I'm kind of in the hip hop game. I'm in the rap game, and I don't really understand comedy, like the comedy scene. Because as we found out, there's a whole scene, there's a whole ecosystem, right?
Yeah.
But I said, I'll do what I can.
They
Say again?
Though. I said the comics was dangerous. Remember, they was cutthroat. They did not like us.
It was a whole little clique, man.
Yeah.
So we said, all right, let's go in with our hip hop mentality, and part of that is like, you can't tell me nothing, right?
Yeah,
like I'm gonna come in like.
Be taken.
like, and again, we can't, the name that shall not be mentioned, but even Puffy, like his early days of like how he promoted and how he made things happen, street team stuff, guerrilla marketing that we saw, not just him, but the hip hop in general. So it was like, all right, look. So we started looking for like comedy shows. And again, my ignorance of the comedy scene, but my understanding of the hip hop scene worked to our benefit. We walked into one spot looking for like early stage comics for some stage in New York Comedy Club, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, okay, come in for like auditions. Yeah, yo, Andrew Wang says Kanye. Like if you watch the Kanye documentary, it was very much like Kanye. Like he just came in and like did it whatever way.
Yeah.
100%.
Look, we took a show and I didn't even audition for it.
Right. Right. So these people were like, we walked in, bro, and like you don't have like probably like 80 seconds of material. Like you've got like 4 jokes. I think you had already bombed on Long Island. They remember like you went on stage and they played Another One Bites the Dust and you had to walk off the stage.
Yeah, dude cut me off. Yes,
right.
We was in I forgot we was in a reggae spot.
Yeah, Jam Rock.
Yeah.
In Hempstead, Long Island. I know.
Yep. Yeah.
And they cut you off because it was like, who's this guy? Like we weaseled our way on stage. They gave you like 2 seconds. You didn't like quite get in the pocket, and then they kicked you off. Okay. So we go to New York Comedy Club. We're in the city, right? New York City. We're gonna do it. And they're like audition, and then we walk in, and they're like, okay. And it was like a black comedy, like a black comedy show. And you were like, I'm in, I'm good, I know how to do this. And they were like, okay, well, show us what you got. And I knew that you ain't have but 38 seconds worth of material at that point. Like we hadn't even begun to like develop a set. And you were like, audition? What you think? You look at me like, and I'm like, nah, we're not gonna audition. He don't audition. They're like, I'm sorry, what? Like, no, he don't audition. Why is he gonna audition for you? Like, why are we gonna waste it on you? There's no crowd here. He plays off the crowd. This guy is the best off the crowd player, playing off the crowd kind of guy I ever knew in my life. In my life. You gonna make him audition in front of 2 people? Get that. Look. And they're like, what? We're like, yo. I said, put him on stage. Pay him his money. If he bombs, you ain't gotta pay us a cent. Right? And you were like, yeah. Right?
You see what the wife just said?
Yeah. We was walking like, because what do we got to lose, bro? Like, we don't know how this works. Audition. We'll look stupid if we audition. Like, picture you, like comedy is hard, bro. Like, I'm funny now, but like, we might be funny. But like, I'm like, what do you want to say? Like, so I walked into like, who does that? Like to 2 people. And they were like, they were like, F it, go, fine, whatever. You went and all I'll say is you got paid.
Hey.
Because
and they offered us the regular spot.
And we rocked that for a little bit. That's hip hop. That's hip hop. That's like, you know what I mean? We gonna make $1 out of 15 cents.
Yeah, got to. You ain't no choice.
I'm talking a lot.
Man.
You tell the story.
Hold on, man.
Yeah.
And one of our greatest supporters, man.
Yeah.
Was your mom, man.
My mom. She
man.
recognized. She knew it was up.
That's
Ma was good.
Man. Yeah.
Ma was good. She knew. She's like, you fine, you funny, you can make it happen. Okay, I'm just gonna eat this peanut butter and jelly sandwich while y'all go out and. Ma knew. Ma recognized real, man. Ma was friends with all the good folk. Ma was friends with you and Coleman and Robbie and all the people that used to roll through the spot. She knew she talent, man.
They used to put up a lot with us, man.
Well, we needed a lot of help because we were madmen at the time. One of the most. So again, this is Hip Hop Can Save America, and this is a very personal conversation. Whoever's watching, but you got to understand something. If you're watching this, you're going to be inspired by the fact that it's a hip hop mindset. And bro, they literally write books now about like how to learn what we do and what we know and what you knew as a comic coming from, I'm gonna sound like one of them, coming from the hood. When you were growing up in the hood, sir, what did you know what I mean? But like coming up from, from the hood and we were hip hop minded folk. And so we were trying to find a way to do things differently. Hey, yeah, Toby Jenkins. And listen, by the way, I had Toby, the author of that book. She's brilliant. And that's the thing, though. There are people trying to figure out how to do what we do naturally. Yeah. And so what happened when there's a famous club in New York that's no longer around, but famous club that or had a lot of like musical acts, but big on their comedy. The place was called Nell's.
Oh.
Famous spot. Somehow or another, as we weaseled our way, and shouts to JP Justice, you mentioned him before, got us into sort of Uptown Comedy Club spot, which is a great spot uptown, Harlem, New York. He took us under his wing, let you open up for him. We started getting into a couple of spots because you started like developing an act, and it was good. And I would hustle, and you would do the job. Like you always lived up to my hype. Like I can hype you up to the end of time, but then you went out there and killed it, and people loved you, and that's what made it work. But then Nell's happened, and Nell's was a huge stage, and we couldn't get into Nell's. What happened?
I think that was the most depressing, happy, sad, greatest day of my entire life, bro. I mean, I had so many emotions, man. I couldn't even understand it. I think that was the first time I had to get on stage and not see you in the crowd. I didn't even know how to respond to that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. We were there together. Yvonne says she loved Nell's. She was out there club hopping in New York City. You know about Nell's. You know about Nell's before me. She was out there rocking. So happy and depressing at the same time. This is a big show, comedy show, happens every week. Big names were there, usually. And then somehow we weaseled our way onto the show because they had heard about you or whatever. And we go together. We're always together. Like, because I'm always like, that's the thing. Like, it's good to have a partner. Like, I'm in the audience watching. I've done, as far as like, for people who know me and appreciate me, like so much of who I am now is because of what we did together. I became a journalist and I wrote about New York hip hop for so many years. And one of the things I always did was I'd watch these independent artists on stage, and it didn't matter if I liked them or not. I might love them, but my job as a journalist is to talk about how good they are. Like, not to me, but I watch the crowd. So I learned to watch the crowd and how they react to an artist, because I might hate that artist, but the crowd is into them. So there's something there. Like, I got to respect that.
And I've depended on that. Because remember, I always asked you, what was their response to this? And you said they responded better to this joke. Blow this part up, be this one. And I mean, that's why I said, man, that both of us together is dangerous.
Yeah, no doubt. We were definitely the Batman and Robin, the Flash to your Gordon. But
you're go.
No, you're Gordon. I'm Flash. You're Gordon. First of all, Flash Gordon is one person, so it's not even a team, so we don't even have it right. It's a long-standing argument. But hold on, go back to Nell's. So Nell's, we're both there. We're ready to rock. We're going in. I've got the manager apparel. I'm putting on. I got the whole, fancy white man, look. You know what I mean? And you got the like, I'm the new Mike Epps. That's your look. Yeah. We doing this, right?
Let me in.
They wouldn't let you in, and it's like, nah, I'm on the bill. Like I'm performing, and the bouncer was like, what?
Yep, your shoes.
You what? Your shoes.
My shoes. I think I don't know, some Nikes or Timbs. I don't know, some kind of hood shoes. He said, we can't let those in. I'm like, I'm on the stage. Nah, I can't let those in. So we out there talking, and you had to have a whole pep talk with me. Like, look, just put my shoes on. This is like Cinderella, click them 3 times, get up there and do what you do. And I'm like, what the fuck?
He said Cinderella.
Like, but I put them shoes on.
You put my dress shoes. I had I don't like loafers. I don't know what I had on. I had
It didn't go with what I had on.
It sure didn't.
It didn't at all.
It's like when you used to see like Russell Simmons with a suit and a Yankee cap and like sneakers. It'd be like, what are you doing? Like, it don't match. Like, I get it. It's hip hop and it's cool. But you went in with like Pelly, you know what I mean? Helly Hansen and like Buster Browns.
I'm looking at you like, no, this is not it. You was like, you got to do it. We came way out here, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, whatever. Said, I'm going in there and I'm coming right out. And boy, let me tell you, man, I lit that stage on fire to the point where I tried to jump off. They tried to push me back on. And I was like, I can't believe one of my greatest nights, my homie wasn't even out there, bro. Like, I didn't even know how to feel, man.
And my shoes were there. It's fine. My shoes were there. That's funny. That was Yvonne said it's got to be the shoes. If we had known that, if we would just wore the shoes every time, like we didn't even think about that.
Everywhere we went,
like lucky shoes.
Yeah, everywhere we went.
That's funny. I'm talking to Forrest Hobbs. Forrest Hobbs is the greatest comedian you never heard of. I mean, it's true. My good friend, we rocked for a couple years trying to make it into the comedy network in New York City. I'm going to cut to the end, but we'll come back a little bit. We didn't stay together because of, family matters, right? Not the TV show.
Yeah.
But the fact that you were my cousin-in-law, I was married to your cousin.
Yeah.
I went through a divorce. We had to break up. So, you had to be like, I'm over here now. It's all good. Y'all figure it out. And then everyone's cool now, but then you moved away. I stayed up north. You moved away. And so we lost the momentum. One of the worst parts about this is that Tom Joyner from the Tom Joyner Morning Show, you know what I mean, at one time was like, hey, what's up with Forrest? Like, I'm like, we don't, you're late. You know what I mean? But in literally, this is all over the course of 8 months, right? Maybe less than a year.
Hold on. Let's go back though.
Go back.
Remember you and Coleman set up the punk joint by Ashton Kutcher? Remember?
No.
Remember right before that? Hold on.
Okay.
The whole East Coast had a blackout.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah. We were supposed to go ahead and do the punk show, but the whole blackout happened. And then right after that, that's when everything started happening with you and Cut. That's when the divorce thing started going left.
We were gonna do something with Punk'd and Ashton Kutcher?
Yep, because Coleman said we was at the crib. Coleman said, look, this is what I'm gonna do for y'all. I'm gonna find the top person and work the way down. We were supposed to go out there for an audition, and then the blackout happened, which I couldn't catch a flight, which then after all of that happened, everything started happening to you with cousin, and then you was in a totally different space.
I was definitely in a different space. Yeah.
You was not. I would tell you, I was like, bro, you're not here. Like,
Yeah. That was a tough time for me. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see you. You know what I'm saying? And like, there was nothing I could have done to fix that. You know what I'm saying? And I had to just sit back and let it work its course. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yes. Someone's in the audience. Someone's in the chat saying they broke up the band. I mean, yeah, technically, kinda.
You said okay, fine. I broke up the band.
Yeah. Okay, fine. I broke up the band. Coleman was another great dude that also taught me this hip hop mentality. Like I learned it. We learned it together because it was definitely that we're gonna go for this thing that we have no reason going for. There's no way that we're entitled to this. It was opposite imposter syndrome. You hear about imposter syndrome now. It's like, I'm doing this thing, but I don't feel like I deserve it. It was the opposite. It was like, I definitely deserve it, and I have no reason to believe that I do.
But the best thing about us, man, we didn't care what the idea was. If one of us had it, we was like, okay, what we need to do.
Right.
It didn't matter. That's why we was able to accomplish so much. Remember, we was on the show with Moni Love.
We was on a show with Moni Love. That's right.
That's
right. We did a show at Sweet Cheeks.
And almost got killed.
Explain the Sweet Cheeks show. What was this all about? This is madness. And wait till they hear the name. Wait till they hear the name of who we were rocking with that night. Again, all of this happened in 8 months. Somehow we got from zero
to $1 million in no time.
Hip-hop mentality, super dope, talented dude. And we're at Sweet Cheeks with none other than who and what happened.
So JP Justice reaches out to Manny. Manny says, yo, JP says he got something lined up for us. I'm like, where? He said, we going out to the casinos in the
Atlantic City.
I'm like, yep. I'm like, Donald Trump. I'm thinking white people.
Let's go.
I can quit my job tomorrow. We rich. Like, I'm ready to go. I'm like, how much? He's like, yo, we gonna pay you $200 for 5 minutes. Hold up. What? I already packed my bags. Let's go, bro. $200 for how long? We out.
I'll take it.
He was like, nah, let's wait. So we on our way and we getting there. And as we going, I started to notice there was this liquor store, abandoned house, 2 pit bulls running loose. I'm like, hold up, bro. Soon as I seen the 2 pit bulls run loose, I already know we ain't in Kansas no more, bro.
It's supposed to be Atlantic City, bro.
It's supposed to be
By the
Atlantic City.
casinos.
Yeah, the
If you
casinos,
if you don't know Atlantic City, people don't. They think Atlantic City like, oh wow. If you go right behind the casinos,
yes, not nice. So we pull up there, and when we get on to find out who's hosting the show, it's Kevin Hart. We doing a show with Kevin Hart.
Before Kevin Hart was really Kevin Hart.
He was just getting ready to do the Soul Plane movie.
Just about to blow.
And JP Justice said it. He said, yo, he getting ready to blow right now, bro. And here we are, Kevin Hart, Moni Love. We done did half the stage with half them cast. We was in the city one time and what is his name? He used to do that.
Not Hamburger.
Not Hamburger. He was at another show, but the other cat, I forgot his name was, but they looked at me. They was like, yo, bro, you are on fire right now. Yeah. Rest in peace to Patrice O'Neal. Remember Patrice?
Boston Comedy Club that time.
Hold up.
We rocked with him.
Remember, yo, Aunt Bev stood up. Remember, rest in peace. Here go to Sean and me.
Why would Aunt Bev even be in the comedy show? Why did she come?
Because hold on, I'm gonna tell you.
Go ahead.
Because Sean want to bump heads. He wants to show he's the better comedian, right? So he tells her to come, right? He tells her to come. So I say, yo, why you tell your mother to come here, bro? You know I'm getting ready to say some curse words. He started laughing. I said, oh, that's the setup. I said, all right. So he gets on. You know he don't curse during his set.
Nope.
He gets off. He looks
funny
at
dude,
me,
but no
turn.
curses.
Yeah.
Sean, rest in peace, Sean. Yep.
He gets off. He looked at me. He started, your turn. I get up there. I get 2 words out. She stands right up in the middle of the set with the Bible. How are you cursing? Blah, blah, blah. I said, oh. I said, yo, listen, y'all. I said, out of respect for my aunt, I said, look, I am not going to do this. I'm going to get off. I start walking off. But
listen, by the way, not only you curse.
Yes.
But you got like sex jokes. Got like you borderline canceled. And we talking about 15 years ago. You was almost canceled.
So I'm walking off the stage, and at the bottom of the stage, rest in peace, is one of the greatest dudes. Patrice O'Neal is sitting at the bottom of the stage.
One time for Patrice O'Neal.
Yes, hit it. As I'm walking past Patrice, he grabs my arm. He pulls me in. He said, yo, I got much respect for you. He said, but do you mind I finish your last couple of minutes? I said, sure, go ahead. He said, he pulls me real close. He said, and this is for you. I said, okay. And Patrice got on that stage and said every curse word frontwards
known to man
for 30 minutes for me.
But it wasn't just cursing. He literally was roasting your aunt
with the curse word. For me.
Like a random ass woman.
Yo, hold on. And this is the thing. This is gonna kill y'all all. The person laughing the loudest is right there in the comments. her own daughter. Dora was laughing so loud, it wasn't even funny. And you know she's loud with it. I'm telling you, I could not. You can't make that up.
We talk about her mama, y'all. Yo, Patrice O'Neal didn't do any of his own jokes.
Nothing.
Just came like, I'm backing you up, little man. Didn't know you from Adam. Didn't know us.
Didn't know me from a hole in the wall.
Didn't know us and was like, I'm taking out your aunt
for you.
For you.
Said that.
And he took her out, bro. He took to the point where even I think I remember like even she had to laugh. Like there was no way.
It was no way.
It was no way. The great Patrice O'Neal.
Yes.
Because so that's what we were doing. Like it was madness. It was pure chaos. Like who could plan this stuff?
Yeah, I'm telling you, we was just going off the head, man. We didn't care.
We was going off the head.
Free, and we was just doing it.
The funny story from Sweet Cheeks. So again, we were there, Kevin Hart show. He had a weekly or a monthly, I don't know, what was happening. And I don't even know where he's from originally, but he was in Atlantic City at that time and he was running the show. Sweet Cheeks was not your mama's comedy club. Like this was
you had to go with 6 guns and 13 knives, bro.
13 knives. You couldn't come in with 12 knives. You're right. No. You had to have 13. I remember like we was at the bar and like
Yo, you remember that? Yo.
Go
I
ahead.
looked over. I
Go
looked
ahead.
over.
You tell it.
I
Go
looked.
ahead. You tell it.
I looked over. I looked over at Mike. Yo, that, I think it was a girl. She walked up. She said, "What you drinking, son?" What? No, I was like, "What the hell you talking about?" I was, yo, I was like, "I drink sex on the beach." She was like, "Let me get a henny." Straight. I was like, "Oh." I'm tapping Mike like, "Yo, Mike." I
I'm
mean,
like, that's
man,
all you.
sorry. Yeah. I'm like, man, you got to get me from this bar. This
I'm
thing,
like,
I
nope.
don't know what this thing is. Mary looks over at me. He like, look, we out.
You on your own, bro. Yo, she was like, let me get a Henny and Coke. No Coke.
Yeah.
Like,
Yo, that was not the place to go unarmed.
no,
I
that
swear to
place was
God.
Thugged Out Entertainment. Shouts to Nori.
Uh-huh.
That was definitely like, I think that was Young M.A. actually who ordered a drink next to you. Like I would, like I wouldn't be surprised. Like, but okay, but they loved us and everything was cool. But here's what happened. This was the dumbest thing they ever did. I don't know if this was regular or they did it right. The DJ was rocking, music was rocking, grinding was going on, like inappropriate sexual movements were happening in public. Like everything was going on.
What time they cut it? Was like 1:30, 2?
Yeah, right. And then all of a sudden it was like, they stopped the music. All right, y'all. Now we got some dudes telling jokes. Go.
You're right. Yo. I said, oh, they definitely trying to get us killed. And did you hear what one of the guards say? Yo, we had to change the name again. I said, change the name? Why? Because they already killed somebody. What? What?
They changed the name of the club every time somebody gets killed.
Everybody's gonna get killed. They changed the name of the club. They was like that. They was like, that's like the 7th name they had. Was That's why when we looked it up again, it was already gone. They had already changed the name.
Right. It used to be Sweet Buns.
Yeah,
used to be, Sweet Hamstrings. Now it's Sweet Cheeks. Yo, there was a fight.
No.
Remember the fight?
No.
You remember the fight when the security guard like caught the punch?
You talking about when we was leaving?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they was trying to get us.
Right, because they didn't want to, like, they were so mad that, like, who are y'all to, they were throwing money, like, on us, like, yo.
Remember JP Justice picked up all the money. He said, my daughter needs sneakers. Remember? He picked up dude money. He picked up like $300 or $400.
People were pissed because they were interrupting the show with comedy. Anyway, that's Kevin. Thanks, Kevin. Thanks.
Yes.
Yeah, we thought we were making it. We were in Atlantic City, Kevin.
He tried to set us up. We was bamboozled.
The hell, we was with JP Justice. We wasn't with JP Justice. Like, if you didn't like him, you don't have to try to get us killed. There was a fight at the end, and we saw a security guard catch the punch of somebody else. Like, someone punched, and the security guard was like, "Nah, we used to this. We good."
Yeah.
I'm like, "What the hell is this? We out." So anyway, okay. So Wild Times. Anyway, like, we're just reminiscing. I hope people are into it. Again, the mentality though was we did all this in 8 months where we're on stage with Kevin Hart. Well, you're on stage with Kevin Hart. We're at Nell's. You're opening up. Well, you're winning the contest to open up for Cedric the Entertainer. Or like right there.
Moni Love.
We're on TV with Moni Love. All these things. Like I say, this show is about hip hop, and none of this has to do with hip hop, but it has everything to do with hip hop. It's that mentality. It's that way of life. It's the way of carrying it. And just carrying yourself through life. You know what I mean? And so we'll bring it back to hip hop just as we close down. We could talk for hours. It's crazy to ask people to stay up all night to listen to us reminisce about our wild times. We got some things cooking, by the way, possibly in the future. So, maybe we're not done yet. We took a 7-year hiatus or whatever you want to call it. 16-year hiatus. So we'll let people know what you're doing now and what might be happening next. But let's bring it back around to hip hop. At the time, like you said, I was doing music. You were into music. What's your connection to hip hop music and culture from like coming up as a kid, how you were connected to it, and like kind of how like maybe you are connected to it today? Just hip hop. What does it mean to you?
Hip hop, man. I mean, we need to get it back to the old school way, man. It was more. I mean, it wasn't like people didn't have problems. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
People still got shot like your boy, like this. You know what I'm saying? Like you would still get shot up and stuff like that. But it wasn't like how it is now. Man. Like people talk about the dead, people very disrespectful. It's not the same. can make more money faster. How are so many murders is happening in hip hop? Where's the guidance? What happened to the guidance? What happened to the real OGs who say, yo, look, let me put a damp on this. Hold on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, take a different approach on it.
Yeah, I mean, we often talk about like here on the show, like we talk about like that. We hear that a lot as we're older. We see it's different, and we don't necessarily like it. Now, some of it is unfair because Mobb Deep's gunshots used to make us levitate. I'm just saying, you know what I mean?
But you know what though? Even though they used to make you levitate, when you heard about them, they was fighting.
True.
You see what I'm saying?
That's true.
They
Yep.
always
I
fought.
get it. No, I get it. I think that
Yeah, they do.
what happens is like today, there's like a lot more of, it's what's thrown at you. Obviously, it's corporate controlled now. There's a lot more. There's a lot less, independent labels and things like that. So
these young cats are scared to get their ass beat. That's all.
Okay,
They
fair.
scared to get a little dirty. They scared to get their good clothes messed up. You know what I'm saying?
Right. You're not gonna mess up my Supreme or whatever. Yeah. I got you. That's what's up. I think there's, it's a part of the work that we need to do is make sure that the whole spectrum gets its attention. You know what I mean? I often talk about if you're complaining about what you see, make sure you're supporting the things that don't get, the attention. Like that's up to us too, right? As OGs. You said it, like, where's the guidance? So it's like when you look at young people and you don't like the way they're going, it's like, well, where are they getting their guidance from? That's supposed to be on us, right? So there's a little bit of that we need to try to, do more of and point out. We talk about the independent scene a lot, and we talk about the way that what I notice is like one of the things that our generation of artists did pretty well was migrate from the music, and when they got out of it, they were able to like turn to different industries. So again, we talk about Puff, and obviously Puff's not, persona non grata right now, but the fact that you parlay that musical success into, whatever it is you're doing next, record label, Revolt, or things like that. We won't talk about him, but, there's a lot of other examples of that, what Jay-Z's done, and some of that is problematic, but some of that is not. It's good business. Like what 50 Cent's done with his, wild catalog of TV and film and all these things. Like 50's like, and even like making money off water, right? You know what I mean? So we see like a little bit more of a mindset from our OGs that I hope the younger cats are starting to at least say, look, I'm making this money right now. I'm doing my thing. It's all like entertainment, but am I taking that money and turning it into something like 50 Cent did, for example?
Yeah, look, I got a good 50 Cent story there. I'm gonna let you hear this right quick. So
you have a 50 Cent story?
Yeah, I got a 50 Cent story.
All right, let's go.
So before he had, he was blackballed almost, right?
Yeah.
So he was trying to come out. I had just heard one of his songs. I think it was with a girl group. I don't know if it was 702 or I think it was a Law. He had a group with.
Okay.
It was a Law. So anyway, I'm patiently waiting for this album to drop. Now, in Roosevelt Field, they used to have the record store upstairs, right?
Roosevelt Mall in Long Island.
Roosevelt Mall, yep.
Yeah.
So when
the record store up to, I don't know what it was at the time. They wasn't Tower Records, but it was like one of them record stores.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would go there for lunch every day. I would go get my Italian food, walk across, go see when the album dropping. Every time I would go in there, I keep seeing the date getting pushed back. And then all of a sudden I went in there one day and I'm like, yo, why y'all keep pushing 50 album back? I'm coming in here like 3 times a week to buy it. What's up? So they was like, he had to push it back, I think because, he got shot, blah, blah, blah. So I'm pissed. I'm like, so if he got shot, then where you think he at? So they're like, what you mean? I said, he's in a hospital. So if he's in a hospital, that means he got hospital bills. So if he got hospital bills, how he gonna pay his bills if y'all keep pushing his album back? So I'm in there, I'm old school. I got the hand clapping, what I'm in there hot.
You a patient advocate.
Yeah, right. So I'm in there like, yo, man, where the album at, bro? Like I'm the G Unit member that nobody knew nothing about, all right? So here I am. I'm in
voluntary G Unit.
I'm in there getting ready to go ham as a G Unit member that and nobody knew nothing about me. So I'm in there beefing with dude, and right behind him, and let me tell you something. Not for nothing, when you see an older white guy on the phone and he's talking like this, he's snitching. he's
accurate.
Snitching. He's giving them a whole description. So I'm in there, I'm like, yo, like when the album dropping, blah, blah, blah. And before I know it, here comes 7 button-down white tees. Here comes mall security. And they
Paul Blart.
Yeah. They pulled me out in the Jesus mode and drug me out of there. I was on some Dave Chappelle stuff like they shouldn't have never gave you that money. They done drove me all the way out of here. They done kicked me out the record store, bro. I was like, damn it, man. As
You
a
got
matter of
booted out
fact,
the mall for being a
I
patient
got booted.
advocate.
I got booted out the mall trying to stick up for Phil.
They kicked you
I
out,
tell you, not kick me out. They literally picked
drug
me
you
up
out.
by my arm. Bro, yep, I had 3 on each
You
arm.
had your civil rights violated on behalf of Curtis 50 Cent Jackson. That man owe you something, man.
What's it saying? You better have my money by Monday.
Yeah. Yo, Curtis Jackson, you owe Forrest Hobbs, man. Come on now. Let's go. Make it happen.
What's it say? With JP Justice. I don't know. Just JP is still out. I'm looking at the.
Oh, you looking at comments?
Yeah,
Oh, is
yeah.
JP Justice a friend of me? No, JP
Nah,
Justice
hell
is good
no.
peoples, man.
Yeah, he's still
Yeah,
paying,
JP
bro.
Justice, also known as Jameek. If you
Yeah,
really
yeah,
follow
yeah,
the comedy scene, he went by Jameek for a long time. He did Def Comedy Jam. He was on Def Comedy Jam.
Uh-huh.
You know, he's still out there. He's in Staten Island, last I heard. So I know he's doing like shows and such. I think he's doing like some. I want to say he maybe talked about it, or he's doing it like some kind of like comedian workshops and things like that, like trying to. But yo,
You ever hear
JP
me
Justice
say
was
my
dope.
uncle of comedy. That's who I.
Yo, that's Unc, man. He came through. He used to do Uptown Comedy Club. That used to be his spot. Funny dude. He's done a lot online, done a lot of like, he'd be online a lot talking, doing like the live streams and such. Funny dude, and really gave us a chance and gave you a spot, to rock
took
out.
us
So
everywhere he went.
everywhere he went. So shouts to JP Justice. He's still out there. He's good peoples, man. We owe a lot to him. Like I said, all this, like the stuff we're talking about with you and me and Coleman and JP Justice, like it defined how we like look at life and carry ourselves. Like, so even though, you're not a super famous comedian, I'm not a super famous comedian manager, I'm not a rapper, I'm just a guy doing a show, and you're just a guy that's still out there doing great things. It influenced us in a good way. Our families are better for it. Our friends are better for it. We learn how to talk to people in new ways. We learn how to approach business. You're a businessman. You got entrepreneurship popping. Like, you got businesses. You working. Like all of that stuff, I think, wouldn't have been as beneficial if we didn't go through what we went through them years.
It was definitely a learning lesson. And
Yeah.
let me tell you.
Speaking to that mic, get up in that mic. Put that shit in your mouth.
Could you?
Yeah, put it in your mouth.
It was
Hashtag I
definitely
can
a
never.
learning lesson, man.
Yeah.
Did you just go back to Ock?
Yeah, put it in your mouth. Go ahead. That's hip hop. Put it in your
The
mouth.
hip hop all day. That's funny. But yeah,
So
man,
what's
I
next
would
for
think
you, man? What's next for you, and what would you like to see happen? Besides, by the way, we have to have a whole social media campaign to tell 50 that this man was out here sacrificing life and limb. Life and limb. While 50 Cent was...
Before he was this 50, he was still...
That's what I'm saying. Like, you weren't even on the bandwagon yet. You was like, nah, this is my guy.
Yeah.
He did...
Yep, because he was the underdog. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, man.
We gotta start a hashtag 50 and Forrest. But we'll get that going. What are you doing these days? I mean, you don't have to tell about everybody all your business, but like, what are some of the things you've gotten into since the days that we, attempted to be giant stars? And again, we got some things cooking, and we're not gonna tell people about till it happens. But what are you doing these days? What's up with you in your life?
Oh man, right now, great father.
It's your birthday, by the way. So one more time, happy birthday.
Yeah,
how to do it.
Yeah, I'm surprised I made it this far, man. 'Cause at one point I wasn't even sure. I was like, I don't know. But you know
Fair
what? Yeah, I'm here, so I take every day beautiful. You know what I'm saying? I try to teach as much as I can, give as much knowledge as I can. You know what I'm saying? I manage a whole restaurant. I own my own car lot. I went through some things, man, and True God got me out of it. You know what I'm saying? I went street for a minute, but he was like, nah, can't do that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, one thing about life, a lot of people say life is hard. I say it's not. I say you just take it as a lesson and just keep it pushing. That's it. That's all you can do. Everything is a learning lesson. That's it.
I appreciate that, man. I'm glad we have time to talk and just not only reminisce over the things we did, because I think it gives us like it's not quite like when dude from Married with Children would talk about how he was the football champion in high school. Like, it's not that bad. Like, it was like, I remember back when I was, and we had like one shot at fame because we've gone on to do other things. We did things before then. We did things. It was a special time in our lives, and we're gonna try to recreate that, in our elder days, with some new stuff. But it really is a lesson not only to us, and like I said, what I thought was really cool to have you on the show and be part of this and share our experiences with the people. Is because for me at least, like I say, it's that hip hop resiliency. It's that, the fight that you get from folks like you that I grew up around. It's black folk, you know what I mean? It's resiliency. It's poor folk, of all walks of life, just fighting back against, like, when they tell you can't do it, we're gonna do it. We're gonna find a way to do it. When they tell you it's not good enough, you're gonna be better than what they thought you were gonna be. And that fight is like, you don't want to have to do that all your life. You know what I mean? Like, nobody wants to do that, but that inspiration and that spirit is something to be, like, applauded. And while the world doesn't always give you and folks, the best chance to I guess be their best selves, you still be your best selves. And it's like, wow, everything is stacked against some of y'all, some of us, and yet that's not going to stop those kind of thoughts where you say, I could go the wrong way, but I'm going to go the right way. My dreams haven't come true yet, but I'm still going to, you know what I mean? But I'm still going to, I'm going to get on the horn with Manny, and we still going to talk, like, remember them times, and maybe we can still make something happen. And so that drives me, man. That just pushes me forward all the time. And, family is chosen. As far as I'm concerned, we got blood family, and that's great. That's cool. I don't have a whole lot that I communicate with on a regular basis. So when it's like folks like you, it's fam for life, and that chosen family it means something. So just to say thanks for all your inspiration, and for just staying in touch and staying up, and just giving me the memories that we share all them times. It may not, and maybe it is for you. I'm speaking for myself. Somehow what we did then keeps me going today.
We ain't got no choice.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
That's
true.
I always think about that. Anytime I start getting down, I think about up there in the room, you and Coleman sitting in there. Y'all had y'all desks together.
Yeah.
And y'all just was like, look, let's think of an idea. What you got? Whatever it was, we just went for it. Like, it was no overthinking like we started to do now when you get a little bit older. You overthinking, like, what bill I got coming. You
overthink. It's that imposter syndrome. Like, you say, maybe I shouldn't be doing this thing.
Yeah. I had to go back and just a little snippet,
Bring it close. This was a kicker. Let's get it good.
Yeah. When I was sitting in a little room for a little while, you know what I'm saying? I had a lot to think about, and like, it just made sense. Like, okay, whatever's going to be meant for me, it's going to be meant for me. I'm going to move as slow as I can, but I'm going to move when I'm supposed to. You know what I'm saying? And you're going to feel it. If it feels rushed, I don't even do it. Right. I don't even do it. I just, if it feels right, I move, and I move when I'm supposed to move. Everything been working ever since. That's it. That's all you can do.
It's like telling the people, nah, he not going to audition.
Yeah. Because I'm going to rock it.
No, we going to come out. And if you don't want us, then it's not the right, then it's fine. It's all good. We're not auditioning. We just, how Yvonne say, say, Manny and Hobbs coming at y'all in 2025. It's going to be like Bad Boys 6.
Good, you can have it. Oh, look, but you couldn't beat that deal. If I don't do good, not only that you ain't got to pay me, I'll pay you what you pay. You can't beat that deal. Get that.
Right.
Because we was that sure, though. Because me and you knew once I hit that stage, it was like a light switch.
Oh, man, listen, let me, that's the one thing we can't show to people, but we might. Yeah. Because it was when you hit the stage, it was for real. It was as good as anybody you've seen. And don't let this man host a show.
Yeah.
Because hosting
on a Monday, bro.
On a Monday on Long Island.
Who has a Monday popping? We had a
packed and popping.
Hold on. Not only did we have a Monday popping, we had a Monday popping where but every other gang member in there not fighting.
It's true.
Remember, we had MS, Blood.
We were Kendrick Lamar before Kendrick Lamar.
I'm telling you, all in our
That's
spot.
right.
Wait, all
true.
throwing gang signs at each other, but not fighting. Yo, we respect your spot. Come on. We was doing the impossible.
We did some things.
Yeah,
We did some things.
impossible.
Well, let's see if we can do them again. If not, then
Ain't
you're
no if
welcome
not.
onto my show anytime, and I'll come and eat crab legs at your spot anytime,
Yeah,
and
come to
whatever.
seafood spot,
And
yeah.
I will trail you miles behind as you motorbike your way down the highway, and I slowly motorbike my way behind you.
No, I'm gonna put a video up for you tomorrow, man. I'm gonna show you how many bikes is gonna come out there tomorrow, man.
Oh, tomorrow for your birthday. Yo, one time,
Yeah,
yo.
yeah, they gonna
Just
come
be a
out.
little
It's
bit
gonna be
closer. If you were a little bit closer.
alright.
But it'd be dope, man. So yeah, once again, let's do something in the future soon. But I just wanted to bring people into our world a little bit. It's like personally, if y'all know me, and people wonder why I do this when no one pays me. Y'all could pay me. Hold on, Patreon.com. Put it up. Y'all could, like, some people do. A lot of like 18 people give me money every month, and y'all not, like, y'all just taking this in for free. What the hell, y'all greedy ass? Anyway, Patreon.com/Manny Faces. Give me $5 a month. It's all good. $10 a month. $25 a month lets you sit in on the show, and we could do this with you. Be fun. But you're welcome back anytime, and I really appreciate our time. It's your birthday. I know you got things to do, people to see. I know it's someone else's birthday also today, so you know what I mean?
Oh, me and my daughter got the same birthday.
You and your daughter. So shouts, of course, to the blessed fam. As you know, me and my wife have the same birthday. And so, people have special birthdays like that. They're really special to us. Otherwise, I wouldn't like you so much. But since y'all have birthday thing going on, like, we can still be cool, I guess. Whatever. I did divorce your cousin. She was a pain in my ass. But whatever, it's fine. It's all good. Everyone's family now. By the way, Friendsgiving. Make sure you come down for Friendsgiving the weekend before Thanksgiving. It's becoming a thing. So you need to come down here with like less than 30 of your bike riding friends, but you could do like more than 3. It's be fine. Traditionally, all your friends have been my friends. Shouts to our late great friend. You just posted up about him a little while ago, Corey, right?
Yeah, man. Corey.
Yeah. So we go back a long way, man, and hopefully we go forward just as long.
Absolutely.
All right. Anything else for the people?
Yeah, be safe, be blessed. I love y'all like cook food.
Yeah, there it is. All right, my man. Good to see you. Let's talk soon. Peace and love. Be safe. All right. Love to the fam. Yep. So there you have it, y'all. My friend, my family, Forrest Hobbs. Funniest guy you may have never heard of, but that's not his fault. That's your fault. It's not your fault. It's the world's fault, the way the world turns. I brought this up tonight just because, like I said, I talk about hip-hop all the time on the show and how much it's meant to me and how much I think it could advance humanity. And it's really because I've learned from folks like him and came across folks like him since I was a young youth back on Long Island, where it's sort of that creativity that, came out of the communities from whence hip-hop came. And that creativity and that resilience and that brilliance and that, ingenuity and that innovation, that inspiration that all come from folk that got a little bit of hip hop in their soul. It brought me along with them, and I'm proud and happy for that. So I wanted to share that. Thanks to everyone who tuned in and turned up tonight. Bob Knutson, the mighty Dawn McClain, of course. Yvonne, no one better than you. Brianna C. It's a wonderful world when I'm in it with y'all. Chosen Hip Hop, PR-ism, Prism came through. I saw the comments, but I'm just gonna end on one of my rants. We had a diversity of artists on the radio back then, and yes, Mobb Deep and Onyx made their rounds a form of street poetry with their own style and terminology. Now it's only negative trap rap. Not only, because even some of the stuff that's played on the radio, I'm watching it, and it's not all that. Okay, so let's try not to blanket everything. It's even if it's all on the radio is bad. Let's always make sure people know there's still opportunity out there. There's still places to go. Doesn't matter. Radio is not our own savior. We have Spotify. We have Pandora. We have Bandcamp. We had Silent Night out tonight. His independent artistry still shines. We can find and support the people, the artists, the things that we like in hip hop, whether it's on the radio or not. So make sure, just throw that in there. Every time we talk ish about what's out there, make sure we throw that in. And I will leave y'all tonight with a reminder of just that. And it looks like this. And then we'll say goodbye. Complaining is fun. So Sexy Red made a performance splash at the 2024 BET Awards, complete with off-key singing, wardrobe changes, dancing Secret Service agents, backing vocal track, and the throat clear heard around the world. As expected, the backlash by disgruntled internet commentators was harsh. Here are some of the comments. Forgive me, but this is nonsense. With 731 comment likes. I can't believe she's famous. What the F is this girl saying? Sounds horrible. Bring back the 90s, 2010s artists, please. And of course, there had to be a hip hop is dead. Don't even get me started. And then bring real female rappers back. I agree. Let's bring real female rappers back. And when they come back, you'll be sure to buy their album, right? Like actually purchase it on Apple Music so that the real female rapper gets paid and can spend money to market her real female raps. So she's able to compete against the pop, club, radio, non-real female rappers? What's that? Oh, right, of course. Oh, my bad. I'm sure you just did this. When Rhapsody released Please Don't Cry, you went and bought that, right? No? What about Worldwide Whack by Tierra Whack? Just came, no? How about over the last couple of years? I mean, you bought Lil Sims, right? No? No Name? Ciroc? Well, whatever. I agree. Let's bring 90s and 2010s artists back then. Wait, what's that? True. I mean, you probably did buy the Master Ace album that just dropped, right? Killer Mike? I mean, Lupe Fiasco, Slum Village? Ghostface? I see. So why aren't the folks who complain so much supporting the things they say they want? Because complaining is fun. That's why. So, when we complain, let's just also make sure we're doing our part to support the artists that are out there that we like. And if we're not, then complaining doesn't necessarily help. That's all I'm saying. You understand what I'm saying? I hope you understand what I'm saying. I'm not trying to guilt anybody here, but like Rhapsody dropped an album. So if you don't like Sexy Red, you could say you don't like Sexy Red. You could also say, that's why I bought Rhapsody's album. But if you didn't actually buy Rhapsody's album, you see what I'm saying? Like, I didn't buy Rhapsody's album. I'm going to be honest with you. But I'm not saying I hate Sexy Red. Like, I can do both. I'm different because I'm doing this. But you know what I'm saying? So, like I said, there's everything you want from hip-hop is out there. And we used to get it served to us on a platter that was radio because we were young and we had nothing else to do. And we drove to work and we played radio and the radio played songs like all the diversity and that was great. But in the years that's passed, they're just going to play what appeals to the young people and they're going to make it the easiest, most repetitive thing that they can make. Yes, 100%. It's never going to come back. When my dad, who used to listen to jazz in the clubs and blues in the clubs, in the Chitlin circuit, when my dad would listen to B.B. King and Bobby Bland do blues and Count Basie and them do jazz, when he would be in the clubs or would be on the radio, when it got to the point where it was Kenny G, he was like, that's not my jazz on the radio. Yes, 100%. So he went to the places where you could buy Bobby Bland and go see B.B. King. He didn't just wait for the radio to give it to him anymore. Like, it changed. It's gonna change. There'll be people that'll be like, I don't like what BET Awards is all about. That's why I don't listen. I haven't watched BET in 20 years. That's how TV works. They're not gonna play stuff for you because you're not watching anymore, but the younger kids are. So that's who they're going to stop. Just go out and find the people you want to support. Put your money into their pockets. Do a little bit of work. And if you need help, I'm here every Monday night. Live, 9 p.m. Your man, Manny Faces. Hip-hop can save America. Thanks to Forrest Hobbs. Thanks to Silent Night. Thanks to Brianna. Thanks to Dawn. Thanks to Jay. Thanks to Eve. Thanks to Bob. Thanks to Andrew. Thanks to Prism. Thanks to everyone else who tuned in. I'm going back. Like, there was mad commentary. I love it. I appreciate y'all. Come back and see me next Wednesday. Next Wednesday? Why would I say Wednesday? That's really, really weird. Next Monday, we'll be back and we'll do it again. 9 p.m. Right now, before we go, make sure you hit the thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe. If you're just here for the first time, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you get notified whenever we go live. Give me a thumbs up. Y'all already did comments, so I appreciate y'all. And give it a quick share to let people know, oh, this is something I like, and y'all should pay attention. They'll watch it on the replay. They missed it, but they'll be here live next Monday. Yeah, the newsletter's dope. You find out all kind of stuff. Whatever. We'll be back next Monday, not Wednesday. That's ridiculous. That'd be absurd. I might do a pop-up, though. One of these days I'm going to do a pop-up. Anyway, peace and love. One time for your mind. It's your man, your mellow, Manny Faces. Anything else to show you? No, I'm done. Okay, that's it. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Make sure you thumbs up and subscribe. Okay. Yeah, I'll give you this. It's stupid, but... I hope you heard that. So stupid. All right, I'm out of here. Bye. Good night. Bye. It's not AI. Actually, Patrick Stewart really said that. Okay. I'm closing.